Hello and welcome to the Formula Racing League. This is the Tier 1 category. We are here for the final race of the season at the Yas Marina Circuit, Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. It's the last round of the season, and considering that the championship is already wrapped up for the drivers, there is nothing really else to play for apart from a battle between Smalley and Turumbar over the fight for second position in the championship. And I think it's more about how the drivers acclimatised to the game itself. Pretty much a trial for the drivers. Now, for Tier 2, it's very much the same. They're on F1 2021 as well. But for Tier 3, with the championship still on the line between three drivers, they're doing theirs on F1 2020. And we are here for qualifying then. It's the full Q1, Q2 and Q3 format for this one. So who will make it through into Q2 here? Now, to my understanding, there are 18 drivers involved tonight, so we'll lose the slowest three at the end of the next 18 minutes. And following that, we'll go on to Q2 very shortly afterwards. So we do have a car out on the circuit. I believe it's a Williams. It's Vamu who's already made his way out onto the track. What will the drivers learn from here? Now, we do understand that the curbs can be rather, I wouldn't want to use the word lethal, but they can be very dreading to the drivers, so they just need to take the curbs a little bit more carefully, well, more carefully than they had done in previous games. Vamu most certainly just making sure there's the car almost, the rear stepping out there is yet to. You can see the corner itself is on camber. As you like through this chicane here, turns 12, 13 and 14. And now it comes to the underneath the hotel bridge. Vamu will start his first fine lap of qualifying. And Sweden's just coming in saying, Tom, my hero, what's the strategy, do you know? And, well, the strategy really is to, well, I shouldn't really give strategies away, really, should I? I mean, from my experience, it's more trying to start the race on the mediums and then end the race on the hards, but you can gain so much time over the course of a single lap here in Abu Dhabi. The tyres do fall away. Once they fall away, they're gone. And Defo, not Adams, coming in saying, hello Tom, how are you today? I can't get on my main Twitch. It's Dixon. So yeah, it's yeah, I'm okay today, thanks, Dixon. It's been a rather casual day, I would say. I suppose with the restrictions being lifted over in the UK now, people are out there just doing whatever they want to be doing. And to be fair, I'm wanting to get out and socialise more and more. So we're back on board here with Vamu, and we can just see that Bate has opted out of qualifying and not taking any part at all, so that's him out of the session. He will start at the back of the grid. Vamu over the line though, it's posted 1:35.6. So that's the time for, not necessarily for everyone to beat, it's just a matter of getting through to Q2 here. Here's Roman's Republic. He's had a fairly decent season, it has to be said. He goes faster by a full second with a 34.5. We've got the Haas of Dean Phelan, who's just come around to start his lap. I think Mr. Joker's doing the same as well. Then we go on to the Aston Martin of Exotic Alpha. He's coming through the penultimate turn. Oh, he spun though! He's hit the barrier, but he's luckily able to keep the car going. Now there's a Williams who was just going past there. I think it was Connor actually who... Oh no, it's not Connor, it's... Just trying to find out. It was Pimis that was going past him. I hope he wasn't impeded too much, but he has posted a 1:35.3. Romans Republic down to second now because Lezard has posted a 1:33.5 in the AlphaTauri. Here's Atismo in the Aston Martin, posting a 1:30. Well, I was going to say 1:30 point something, but I think he may have had that lap invalidated for track limits. Oh no, it has counted. A 1:34.8. So it took a bit of time for that to update itself. But he does go fourth fastest because Smalley has gone second with a 34.3. And then we've got what I believe is a Williams crossing over the line, or going into the pit lane, I should say. Here's Connor in the Alpine, just starting his flying lap now. So we'll go to Romans Republic, who I think will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. There's Dean Phelan in the Haas. Entering turn 21. Over the start-finish line to post a 1:34.0. That's a great lap from Dean Phelan. So he goes in front with Smalley with that one. There's Jay Hartnell in 10th. He's the slowest of all those who have set a lap time so far. At least he won't be starting 18th. Here's Connor in the Alpine. Down the second of the back straights. Well, I say it's a back straight. There is a couple of right-hand kinks of which he'll go through before he has to brake for the slalom chicane. And what is he like through the last sector here? He's braking too much there into turns 17 and 18. Turn 19 was okay. Turn 20 just turning a bit too early there. Also was trying to nail the apex. Turn 21 wasn't too bad. But his time is a 1:35.1 and he goes 8 with that time. Now Becco is at the slalom chicane. He finished 4th last week at Paul Ricard, which is by far his best result of the season. Can he end his campaign on a high here in Abu Dhabi? So Lezard fastest by half a second over Dean Phelan. Now Becco entering North. Oh, he's lost it! And he's wrecked the machine! And his qualifying's over! So Becco will not take any further part in qualifying. He hasn't set a time on the board. Oh, and someone else has gone into the barrier now. It's the Haas this time. Is that Dean Phelan has gone in? It is. So Dean Phelan's lost it in the barrier there on the exit of turn 20. But he's lucky to keep the car going. But Becco won't be going any further. He's out to qualifying. There's Dixon, who's just started the flying lap in the McLaren. Well, Exotic Alpha wants to avoid a repeat of his misdemeanor on the exit of turn 20. So Sweeney's, who failed to finish last time out at Paul Ricard in his debut in the FRL, goes 4th with a 34.5. We've got Exotic Alpha who's coming through next. as you like here through turn 20. Takes a bit more cautiously. He did take some inside curb on the way through. It's a 1:35.5 and he only goes 11th with that, but at least he's in front of Vamu and Jay Hartnell. Dixon's coming towards the hotel bridge. Dixon, who's yet to win a race this season, despite being within the realms of charge. Oh, he nearly lost it on the exit of the last turn, but he's good enough to still put him 6th fastest on the board. Now Turin Bart is next up. Oh, I think that was a polystyrene board. He just ran through there, not part of his front wing going. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, he nearly lost it. He still goes third with a 34.0, but that could have been curtains for him. Vamu's back out on circuit again because he needs to go on another run. I wonder if Exotic Alpha is doing the same here. He will have burnt off a little bit of fuel. So there's only one more place up for grabs in terms of who will drop out of qualifying with Becco and Bates. Exotic Alpha exiting turn 19. 2 more turns to negotiate before he crosses over the line. Oh, he's lost it again! He's done exactly the same thing as before. Luckily the car's not fully wrecked. And Vamu's time has been invalidated because he's exceeded track limit, so he'll have to go again. But Exotic Alpha has done exactly the same thing as before. I think we're going to see a repeat of that. Not just from him, but from the other drivers as well. So Liverpool fan is out on circuit now, who has yet to post his own. There's Vamu, who keeps on spinning on the exit of turn 4. He's carried on his way. So Jay Hartnell is the driver at risk in 15th position, whilst Liverpool fan looks to end his season on a high. In terms of who's posted what on what tyre, all the drivers who have set times have set them on the soft compound. Exotic Alpha coming in saying that turn 20 is not his favourite. Well, it's evidently clear. The Liverpool fan just needs to take it easy here. So let's stay on board with him to see how he gets on with this lap here. So Dixon coming towards turn 1. Nicely done, actually. Perhaps turning a little bit too early, but it wasn't too shabby. He got offline at turn 2 before he positioned the car for turn 3. Into turn 5 and 6. Not too bad through there. Then turn 7 the hairpin. Nicely nailing the apex as he heads down the back straight. And then we head down towards turn 8, the braking zone, just after the 100 metre board. Missing the apex there, turn 9, but I think that was to avoid the camber. Where you can sometimes upset the car. Parking the car nicely towards turns 12, 13 and 14, which he negotiates through beautifully. Carried a bit too much speed there into turn 15. Then turns 16 and 17. 17 just carried a bit too much speed in there again. 18 and 19 on next. So a 1 minute 35.8 is the time for Liverpool fans to beat. Gets through turn 20, no problem. Turn 21. Here he comes over the line. And it's not good enough to get him out of the drop zone. He's 16th, his Liverpool fan. Now, if he's going to get through, he may need to get back into the pits as soon as he can. Get a set of another set of the soft compound tyres on. And Jay Hartnell goes 14th. I'll say 14th because Vamu's crashed out on the exit of the slalom chicane. Yeah, he has. He's lost it. So Vamu's session is over. But Liverpool fans' time in 16th position, that would not see him through, even with Vamu already crashed out. So Liverpool fan just needs to beat Jay Hartnell's time. And if that was to happen, then Jay Hartnell would be out of qualifying unless he can find a faster time than what he's got already. Jay Hartnell on the back straight, rear wing open. 3 minutes to go of Q1. Didn't quite see whether Jay Hartnell improved from before, but by the time he does get into the second time beat, we'll know for sure whether he is improving on this lap or not from before. He's half a tenth down from what he set before, so Jay Hartnell needs to find some time in the remainder of the lap here. And Liverpool fan has stopped in the pits and he's out of the session. So we have our eliminated drivers from this session then. Vamu won't be taking any further parts because he's crashed out. Liverpool fan also not doing any more laps in qualifying. Becco crashed out and Bates never came out of the pits. And Jay Hartnell does improve his time to 1:35.6. He does say he's 14th on the leaderboard, but in actual fact he's 15th because Vamu's time is faster. But the reason why Vamu has been dropped down to that position is part of an algorithm with the game that determines, who gets eliminated from the session. Now, Exotic Alpha and Mystic Joker on flying laps. Here's Mystic Joker. He's entering turn 20. No problem. And this should put him higher up the order here. It's a 1:34.0. He goes third with that. So marginally slower than Dean Phelan. But Mr. Joker, as we all know, is safe. He will not be eliminated at the end of Q1 here. Now, Exotic Alpha is looking to improve his time. And Sweeney's just pointing out that the Ferrari boys are close. 0.03 of a second. So Exotic Alpha coming through turn 19. Can he negotiate turn 20 properly this time? He does so. And it's an improvement by 0.07 for Exotic Alpha. He stays 13 with that. But at least it was an improvement nevertheless. Jay Hartnell coming back into the pits. Connor is out on circuit. Mr. Joker will be making his way back into the pit lane. And Exotic Alpha has crashed out actually on the exit of turn 14, and with him being crashing out on circuit, he will not take any further part in qualifying. I think Connor was trying to slow down there before the checker flag fell. And Mr. Joker makes his way back into the pit lane, and that should be session over. So we have 5 eliminated at the end of Q1. Exotic Alpha and Vamu, who would have got through had they both not crashed out. They're both out of qualifying. Liverpool fan not quick enough there in the McLaren. And Becco and Bates also didn't set a lap time. You can see there's Leslie who's fastest. And there's confirmation of Exotic Alpha joining Vamu, Liverpool fan, Becco and Bates on the sidelines. We'll be back for Q2 in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Here we go with Q2 then. Who will join? I mean, there's only 13 drivers involved, which means we'll only lose the slowest 3. And given what we've seen in qualifying so far, with 3 drivers crashing out, there could be a few more than just the 3. You can see a Red Bull making his way out of the circuit. That'll be Smalley in the fight with Turenbar. Second in the championship. Lizard already crowned champion. Gap is 16 points. Or 26, I should say. 26 points is the gap between Smalley and Turenbar. So you have to say that Smalley is the favourite to get second. For Turenbar to overhaul him, he would need to, at the very minimum, finish on the podium and hope that Smalley doesn't score. The top 15 do score points in the Formula Racing League. 40 points for the race winner. There's also a point for pole position and another point for fastest lap. 32 points would go to second, 26 for third, and then right the way down to 15th position, who just get the single point. But points are points. Now at the moment we've got 5 cars on track now. It'll be 6 shortly because Connor is making his way out onto the track now. You can see there's Pimis and Smalley nose to tail with each other. Smalley on the medium tyres, Pimis on the softs. I think Smalley just let Pimis go through, really. So Pimis entering the last turn now to begin a flying lap in Q2. So we've got Smalley crossing over the line to start his lap on the mediums. It'd be a good idea to compare the sector 1 times between Pimis and Smalley. Pimis is a 17.0 on the softs. What about Smalley on the mediums? It's a 17.1. So it's over a 10th difference between the two by that point of the circuit. The Ferrari of Roman's Republic is also on a flying lap in the background. .57.4 in sector 2 for Pimis. It's a 57.4 for Pimis as well. So Pimis doing well. Well, I say Pimis, Smalley doing very well on the medium so far with the times he's set in. But Pimis is coming round the last 2 turns. And he'll be in the 1 minute 54s, I should think. It's a 1:54.4. And Smalley has hit the barrier somewhere and he's damaged his front wing. So that'll be him back into the pits for a new nose. Romans Republic over the line on the mediums. And it's a 1:35.0. So Romans Republic is probably going to need to find a better time than that, if I'm honest with you, if he is to get through. Dixon's next to post a time on the medium compound in the McLaren. And it'll be a 1:34.5 for the Brits. Half a second quicker than Romans Republic on the same compound. Turenbar started his flying lap on the mediums. Atismo is back in the pits because he must have made a mistake somewhere. Connor is next up in the Alpine to complete a lap. He's on the soft compound. I wonder if he's made a mistake actually. Yeah, he's coming into the pits as well. That's us on a decent lap though, 57.0 by sector 2. Over the line is a 33.7, and he goes fastest of all. So Liam's the next driver to complete a flying lap. So Liam through the slalom chicane that caught out Vamu in Q1. Very nicely done through turns 18 and 19. Turn 20 is a nice line actually. So 34.2 for Liam. He goes second on the soft compound. And Schoenbar's made a mistake. His lap time's been invalidated, so he'll have to go again. Dean Phelan still going though in the Haas. Very quick in Q1. He ended up, I think, second overall. In Q2, on the medium compound, aiming to be in the 1 minute 34s, which he is, 1 minute 34.2, narrowly slower than Liam, but he set his lap on the mediums. Schoenbar's gone again for another run. Rose Republic likewise. .57.5 by sector 2. He's half a second up from what he had set before, so this is a much better time that he's producing here. Is the Slovakian. Through turns 18 and 19 he comes. No problem through that. Keeps the car away from the barriers. Very nicely done. Well executed there through turn 20 and 21. It's a good exit. It's a 1:34.9. He actually lost time in the last sector, but it was still good enough to improve the time. But I think he's going to have to sacrifice a set of soft tyres if he wants to get into Q3, to be honest with you. Schoenbar may be thinking about the same here. But he is on a fine lap. Goes through that 50-metre board. It's a 1 minute 34.3, and he goes fourth with that. Will that be enough to see Schoenbar into Q3 on the mediums? Mr. Joker and Atismo are on flying laps now, with 6.5 minutes remaining of this second part of qualifying. Now, Mr. Joker, fourth in the standings on 186 points. He can't finish higher than that. His nearest rival, Rose Republic, is on 155 points, who could mathematically catch him, but he would very much need to win the race, and for Mr. Joker not to score, pretty much, if that was to happen. Mr. Joker entering the hotel bridge, and 7 drivers have set time so far. Mr. Joker, providing keeps the car within the limits of the racetrack, is about to make that 8, and it's a 1 minute 34.5, and he goes 6th, so he goes behind Pimis, who had set his time on the soft compound. Here's Sweeney in the, I think Connor's crashed out actually on the exit of turn 19. Yeah, he has. So that's his session over. Atismo going 8th on a 1:34.5. He set his time on the soft compound. So there's still 2 more places to fill to drop out at the end of Q2 here. Smalley and Jay Hartnell in the Red Bulls have yet to post a time. Dixon decided not to go out for another run. I have to say, I think Roman's Republic is going to have to sacrifice a set of soft tyres, because there's no way that Smalley's going to go slower than him. And both Red Bulls are out on track now. Less than 4 minutes remaining. Rome's Republic is the driver at risk in 10th place. He's probably keeping an eye on the Red Bulls, but the only problem he's going to have is, by the time they do start their flying lap, he'll probably need to start making his way out onto the track. While both Ferraris are out on the circuit. Small Sweeney is back in the pits. Rome's Republic is on an out lap. So Dixon's coming in saying he's retired from the session because he prefers to start on the mediums. And he will do regardless. Oh, and Jay Hartnell's in the wall. Jay Hartnell has hit the wall on the exit of turn 1. And that's his qualifying session over. So that's the first time we've seen anyone hit the barrier on the exit of that turn. Smalley, all he really needs to do is just keep his car on the track, really, not push too hard. He should make it through. That's good news for Rome's Republic, and for Sweeney, actually. And Dixon, most especially. So Smalley, providing he keeps his car within the limits of the racetrack, will make it through into Q3, no problem on the softs. So the drivers who have set their times on the mediums are Lezard, Dean Phelan, Turenbar, Mystic Joker, Dixon, Sweeney and Rome's Republic. Sweeney is out on track now. Rome's Republic is on a flying lap. Let's go back to Smalley though. 57.2 by sector 2. And with this time here, I would think he'll go up to... Oh, he nearly lost it. And he nearly lost that lap time as well, because he did put all 4 wheels off the track. It's a 1:34.3, but that could have easily been him in the barrier. That pushes Rome's Republic into the drop zone now. And Rome's Republic 4/10 up from his previous lap time he had set on the mediums. As it stands, he would go in front of Mystic Joker, I think, possibly Pimis. So Sweeney is on... Well, he's on his out lap at the moment, but he is not too far behind Rome's Republic, so he'll just get over the line before the checker flag falls. 30 seconds to go. Rome's Republic entering turn 21. And this lap time of his puts him second behind Lezard. So it's all down to Sweeney, who begins his final attempt to get into Q3 here, with 9 seconds to go. Position himself nicely for turn 1. Checker flag is out, although there's only 3 cars out on circuit, so we're just watching Sweeney to see if he can make it through. He just needs to find well, only 800ths to book his place in Q3. May able to get a tow here from his teammate. That was a pretty useful tow, I would imagine. So Smalley making his way back into the pits. He's safely through to Q3. So it's either Sweeney or Atismo who will join Jay Hartnell and Connor on the sidelines at the end of this part of qualifying. And Sweeney, we nearly lost it there. He caught the curb on the inside as he was hitting the apex. He goes 10th of this time. That pushes Atismo out. So Sweeney is through to Q3. So the three drivers eliminated are Atismo, Jay Hartnell and Connor. Do feel free to get involved in the conversation, guys, as the session progresses. So confirmation of those eliminated. Atismo, Jay Hartnell and Connor are out. The top 10 go through to Q3. For your information on who will start the race on the mediums, Lezard, Dean Phelan, Turenbar, Mr. Joker and Dixon all make it through on the mediums. The rest will start the race on the softs, those in the top 10 I mean. But we've still got 12 more minutes with a pole position shootout to decide who will start at the front for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're back in the mo. This is Q3 then. You can just see a Mercedes making his way out onto the track. That'll be Turenbar. Can he be a threat to Smalley and Lezard in the fight for pole position and the race win here tonight? There's Dean Phelan also making his way out, as is the Red Bull of Smalley. And I think Pimis is also on track in the Williams. And most drivers, unsurprisingly, heading out on track now. They're stuck in the pits in the moment. I think they are going to wait for a gap in the traffic before they make their move. It's a long circuit. It's the Yasmin circuit. It's 5.5 kilometres. And now Liam is next to go onto the circuit, as is Lezard. Mr. Joker waits a little bit more to give himself potentially some space. Won't want to leave it too late though, because the last thing he wants is holding up those who are beginning their flying laps. So Turenbar in 5th position. Onto the pit straight now to begin his lap. What can he put in here? So through turn 1, no problem through there. Very nicely done through turns 5 and 6. Turn 7 kisses at the inside curb on the way through. Pimis is back in the pits. He's probably made a mistake somewhere. But Truenbart is on the back straight, taking the shorter route before he heads to the outside of the circuit to turn into turns 12, 13 and 14. Very tricky to get right. And of course, for this year's season finale in real life Formula 1, that part of the section will be reprofiled. Hitting the polystyrene board on the way through that. Into turn 21, onto the pit straight, and it's a 1 minute 33.5. So Truenbart sets the pace for everyone else to beat. Smalley in the Red Bull. What can he do? Oh, he nearly got out of shape on the exit of turn 20. That'll cost him some time there. It's a 1:33.9. It's not very good for him. Dixon next up in the McLaren. It's a 1 minute 34.2. He's even slower. And we've got a Ferrari of Rome's Republic entering the last turn. It's a 1:33.9. Goes second, so he goes in front of Smalley. Great effort there from Rome's Republic. And, oh, Lezard. Careful there, mate. Don't overcook it. Let's make his way back into the pit lane. Oh, he nearly hit the pit wall as well as he was going through. Dean Phelan posting the 5th fastest time in the Haas. A 1 minute 34.2. Marginally slower than Dixon, but that's a great effort from him. So Sweeney has backed off on this lap, actually, as the drivers presumably make their way back into the pits to put another set of the soft compound tyres on. Here's Mr. Joker deciding to go out in the gap in the traffic. There's no traffic in front of him at the moment, so that's good news for him. So coming towards turn 8 and 9. No problem through there. I think Dixon's had a spin, actually. Or he's just slowing down to let other cars by. And Dean Phelan spun. Now that could be bad news for Mr. Joker, actually, because he'll only just get going again. I hope Mr. Joker does not get held up by these guys. He probably won't do. Oh, but he's overdone it. He's overdone the chicane. And that's his lap invalidated. Could have been a good lap, that, for Mr. Joker. But not to be this time. Pimis is on a flying lap, though, in the Williams. What can we expect to see from him? I think probably the lower end of the top 10 is where we expect him to be. Must be in the lower end of the 57s by sector 2, but it's only a 57.5. So he's some way away from that. Lezard's out on circuit as well, just behind him. He's on his out lap, though. So Pimis doesn't need to worry too much about him until when he does get to his in lap. He needs to obviously make sure he doesn't hold up Lezard. So entering the last turn. It's a 1:35.2. It's the slowest of all the times set in this session. Lizard begins a flying lap now in the AlphaTauri, going for another pole position. But he's overdone it. Lizard's overdone it because he exceeded track limits on the exit of turn 1, so he'll have to back out of this one. And perhaps practicing for next year's game, when the configuration's been reprofiled into the game itself. Rose Republic back out on circuit as well with just over 4 minutes remaining. That was a brilliant lap he had set earlier. Can Romans Republic put himself in the frame for another podium here tonight? He's got a good chance of doing so. He keeps it up with his pace. As it heads back to the pits, presumably to put on another set of these soft compounds on the AlphaTauri. Same with Pimis. And so we'll see Romans Republic heading over the line to start his final flying lap of qualifying. Romans Republic must be in the high 16s ideally, but it's a 17.1. He's 300ths down from where he'd set before. So 57.2 for Romans Republic. 7,000s up from before, but it's an improvement. How close will he be to Turenbach? There's no traffic in front of him. Oh, he's overdone it though, as Romans Republic. He'll have to go again, but I'm sure the life on those tyres are not going to be as good condition now. He's decided to pit in. So Romans Republic will start no higher than second on the grid. Dean Phelan's on an improvement on his lap though, nearly 3/10 up by sector 2. This could well put him possibly up to second. Now, Lezard's not coming back out on circuit, I don't think. I think he's trying to now, but I think he's left it too late. He's left it too late, has Lezard. So he's not going to take pole position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Dean Phelan entering the last turn. He exits the last turn. And he goes third by over 100th ahead of Smalley, who's coming around the last two turns now. Smalley over the line, and it's a 1:33.5, and he goes to pole position by 4,000ths. 4,000ths of a second is the difference. But Turenbach is about to start his final lap shortly. He'll get over the line before the checkered flag, so do watch out for him. I think someone has spun on the exit. It's one of the Ferraris. It's Sweeney. So Sweeney, who hasn't posted a lap time in Q3, is not going to. Mr. Joker goes past him. He starts his final run. I hope Turenbach doesn't get held up here. He probably won't do. Sweeney wisely staying out of the way. I think Liam's just got over the line to start his final run. So Smalley fastest by 4 thousandths of a second. And now Dixon is on a flying lap in the McLaren. 6th fastest at the moment, not where he needs to be. He's aiming for 1 minute 33 here. It's a 1:33.8. That puts in 3rd. That's much better for Dixon. Who's next behind? It's Dean Phelan, who is not on a faster lap time, so he will not be higher than 6th on the grid. Mr. Joker on a flying lap though in the Alpine. No time set for him so far. Now Mr. Joker named the apexes very well actually. And through 20. Mr. Joker's on a fly here by the looks of things. Over the line he goes. It's a 1:33.9. And he only goes 7th with that. Liam's not on a good lap. His lap time's been invalidated. Truenbar's lap time not as good as before. So after all that, Smalley is on pole position for the final race of the season here in Abu Dhabi in the Tier 1 category. Truenbar will join him on the front row. Then it's Dixon and Liam on the second row. Romans Republic and Dean Phelan are next, followed by Mr. Joker, Pimis, and then 2 drivers who haven't set lap times, including Sweeney and Lezard, who's just binned it down at turn 12. Hopefully won't see that from him in the race later. But it's a very good job from Smalley on pole by only 4 thousandths of a second. That's a really, really, really close battle there between himself and Truenbar. So after all that, Smalley is on pole position with Truenbar alongside. Then it's Dixon and Liam. Only 3 thousandths of a second separating those two on row 2. Then Romans Republic, another 300ths back ahead of Dean Phelan in 4th. So less than a 10th, or say less than a 10th, just over a 10th separating Dixon in 3rd to Mystic Joker in 7th. And Pimis is in 8th, Sweeney 9th, and Lizard will start from 10th place on the grid. But it's set to be an exciting race, this one. Do not go anywhere, as we'll be right back for the race to come in a few minutes. We're less than 30 seconds away from the start of the formation lap here in Abu Dhabi. And with Smalley getting in pole position, he extends his gap in 2nd place over Truenbar in 3rd to 27 points, which means with only 41 points left on the table, Truenbar has to finish 2nd at least, really, or ideally win, and for Smalley to hardly score. But given the number of spins we've had in qualifying, we should expect to see a few spins from the drivers during this one. And just to confirm, Truenbar and Dixon are on the mediums, Dean Phelan and Mr. Joker are also on mediums, as are Lezard, Atismo, Jay Hartnell, Exotic Alpha, Vamu, Liverpool fan, and Sufdar, who didn't compete in qualifying. He's back at the back of the grid in 19th place. We've got 19 drivers involved in tonight's race. The rest of the drivers are all starting on the softs, particularly those who managed to make it into Q3. Now Smalley, who's already won 4 races, I believe, this season. He's won at Silverstone, he's won in Sochi, he's won in Mexico City, and he's also won last week at Paul Ricard. He's going for his 5th win of the season. Lezard, who's already won 7 races. Seesaw is the only other driver to have won in that manic race at the Red Bull Ring a few weeks back. So after a long, hard season, the title may already be wrapped up, but these drivers still want to go out in a blaze of glory to decide who will become. Could we have a new winner in the Tier 1 category? Only 3 different winners so far this season. Smalley's title may already be handed over to Lezard, but he's determined to come back next season and get that crown back in his grasp again. So 28 laps lie ahead of the drivers, and we'll be underway very, very shortly. You can see the last few cars coming onto the grid now, particularly Sufdar, making up 19th position on the grid. This is it then. The 5 red lights come on when they go out. Abu Dhabi is underway. Lights out and away we go. Smalley gets off the line poorly actually, because Turenbar has got alongside him into turn 1, and it looks though Turenbar has got his nose in front of the Red Bull. So Turenbar takes the lead coming out of the first 2 turns, but Smalley's fighting back though. Turenbar got caught on the curbs and Smalley was able to get back through again. And now we're going down to turn 5, the first chicane of the lap. Turenbar going to the outside as Smalley gets his elbow, so it stays in the lead. It's Turenbar in 2nd place, followed by Dixon, Liam in 4th, and it's Dean Phelan, Rome's Republic, Mystic Joker going side by side with the Williams of Plymouth, Sweeney's in 9th, and Lezard, the champion, is still in 10th place at the moment. And now we go on to the back straight, Mr. Joker into the slipstream of the Williams, as is Rome's Republic, with Dean Phelan. Dean Phelan going to the inside to defend from the Ferrari of Rome's Republic. Into turn 8 they go, and Rome's Republic was able to get back on the inside into turn 9. The 2 make contact on the exit, and the Ferraris do. And the open door allows Plymouth to get through and up into 6th place. So Dean Phelan's dropping back at the moment. Mystic Joker all over the back of the Haas as well, and Safdar's out. Safdar has retired on the back straight. Not sure what's happened. He must have had a coming together with someone, but Safdar's race has ended on the first lap. Atismo's going past him actually. Atismo's got a drive through penalty. Oh, in fact, Atismo's lost the front left there. He smashed that Mercedes. I don't know if we'll get a safety car. The game, this particular lobby is set the safety car appearance to be reduced, considering what we had on the Super Sunday F1 race in China on Sunday night. Far too many safety cars it seems to have appeared, and someone else has spun. It's Bates in the Haas. He's in need of a new front wing, so that'll be him into the pit lane very shortly. But Smalley's leading at the end of lap 1. It's Turenbar in 2nd position. Then it's Dixon, ahead of Rome's Republic, has got back through and up into 4th position by the end of lap 1. So he's recovered well. Plymouth is in 5th. Sweeney in 6th. Mr. Joker. Oh, there's a car in the wall. There's a car in the wall. Plymouth is at the barrier on the exit of turn 3. The front wing's completely gone, but he's managed to keep going. Plymouth is a very, very lucky driver there. He could have easily wrecked that car, and that would have been his race finished. But he's most certainly going to need to come back into the pits at the end of that. So Liverpool fans keeping his nose out of trouble, and Atismo into the pit lane, and he's out of the race. So he's not going any further. So 2 drivers are out already, with Smalley out in front. It's Truenbar in second. Liam in third ahead of Dixon. No DRS on the first 2 laps. It does say it's lap 3, but we are in fact on lap 2 of the race. So Dixon waiting behind. And the reason for the yellow flag is because of Atismo parking his Aston Martin, as he's already pitted in to retire. I'm just waiting for that car to disappear. Mr. Joker getting in front of Dean Phelan for 9th position. And I think Les has already passed the Alpines to get up into 7th place as well. There's Vamu down the inside of Dean Phelan. So Dean Phelan's going backwards on this lap. I wonder if he's picked up damage somewhere in the Haas. Now what's new to the F1 2021 game is the damage mod with the barge boards and the floor, which can compromise the performance, which the drivers have to settle in for the rest of the race if that happens. Sweeney's in the pits for a new front wing, presumably, and he's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Pimis is also in. I'm not sure if he's going to continue after losing so much time after that spin with that front wing damage, but if there's a safety car later on, that would bring him back into play. Now, DRS has been enabled, and Dixon will be able to use that to his advantage because he was within 1 second of the detection point behind of Liam. Can't make the move stick there. And further behind, we've just seen a few other changes. Dean Phelan protecting his position ahead of Jay Hartnell. Mr. Joker determined to get in front of his teammate Connor, who goes to the inside to defend, but Mr. Joker will take that place sweet and sound. Dixon passes Liam for 3rd place then. So the McLaren closing in on the top 2. Truenbar still behind Smalley. The gap says it's 1.2 seconds. And I think Liam made a mistake actually. And someone's gone for a spin at the back. Is that Pimis again in the Williams? I think he's made a mistake. I think he's continued though. No damage to the Williams, it looks. Now someone else has spun. It's one of the Red Bulls that's gone round. Is that Jay Hartnell? It is. Front wing gone on the Red Bull. So he won't have too far to go to get into the pit lane. His chances of points are diminishing. So now on lap 4 of the race, Truenbar in second behind Smalley. So they enter the back straight, the first of 2 back straights. Doubt that Truenbar is going to be close enough to have a go, but can at least use the DRS to close in. And we can see Liam getting Romans Republic back on the back straight, and Romans Republic lets him go. But the bad news for Liam is that Romans Republic will be behind him at the detection point. Therefore, Romans Republic will use the DRS to his advantage. Here we go. Romans Republic to the outside on the soft compound, and he puts his Ferrari up to 4th place again. So Lizard up into 6th in the AlphaTauri. He's quietly making his way through the field. Becco passes. Oh, there's a spin there. Not sure who that was that's gone for a spin. It's Dean Phelan in the Haas. So Dean Phelan's race goes from bad to worse. He's fallen down to 12th now, behind Liverpool fan. So Truenbar all over the back of Smalley now, as they begin lap 5 of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So into turn 1 they go. Truenbar going off track. Truenbar will need to watch out for Dixon as well. He won't want to wait behind Smalley for too long. Now remember, Smalley started the race on the soft compound tyres, whereas Truenbar started on the mediums. And Dean Phelan in the pits now for Haas for a new front wing. And Truenbar with DRS goes to the inside as they enter turn 8, but backs out of it at the last moment. He was being wise there, if I'm honest with you, was with Truenbar, but Smalley is able to pull away again. Now Truenbar using the DRS zone on the second of the back straights to put his Mercedes up into first place then. So Smalley will tuck in behind. He'll be thinking about making a pit stop. Leslie gets a time penalty for track limits. Who's gone off? It's Bates. Bates gone off in the Haas. He's had a really troublesome race so far. Connor getting a time penalty for track limits as well. So 3 drivers with time penalties so far. Lezard, Connor and Sweeney. And one of the Ferraris has gone for a spin. That'll be Sweeney. Not having a good race so far. Lezard in the pits. That's a very early time in the race to be making a pit stop. Has he got front wing damage, I wonder? And the answer is yes. So Lezard coming in for a change of tyres. Soft tyres go on to the AlphaTauri. His teammate Becco also in. Oh, Sweeney spins again on the exit of the last turn. Having a really horrible race so far. And Sweeney just got to be careful not to get too carried away. There's still a long way to go yet in this one. He lets Jay Hartnell through. And he spins again to Sweeney. Now he's got to be careful not to deliberately crash the car, and Bates out. Bates crashed on the exit of turn 1, and we have our first safety car of the race. So Bates' troublesome race is over. Now what will this mean for those leading? That I wonder if Truenbar and Smalley most definitely is going to be pitting at the end of this one. And I think Truenbar is going to have to do the same. Yes, he is. So the top 2 making their way into the pits, likewise with Dixon. Rose Republic on the soft compound, he's also entering the pits. Mr. Joker deciding to stay out. It's an interesting call there, so he's going on a different strategy to the leaders. So Mr. Joker will catch up to the safety car. Liam coming in for a new front wing as well. There's Lezard. You might think about pitting again, to be honest with you, because he will need to he'll need to go onto another different compound really to get to the end of the race on, because there's no way he will complete the next 22 laps on those. Double Fan rejoins ahead of Exotic Alpha in 10th. Medium tyres go on Jay Hartnell's Red Bull. Sweeney back in the pits. Will he decide to carry on? Serving some of his time penalty as well for speeding in the pits earlier. Going on to the hard compound. And out he goes. He'll catch up to the leaders. He'll stay on the lead lap. So Mr. Joker leads the field behind the safety car. He's the only driver to have not stopped in this race so far. Now how long will the safety car remain out there for? Well, it's not going to be coming in at the end of the lap because the yellow lights are still flashing on the top of it. So we'll be going around for at least one more lap. Becco back in the pits. Speeding as well, that's not good for his race. Didn't need that at all. Hard tyres go on. May try and go to the end of the race on those. Jay Hartlett's already gone through. Becco will be joining 15th ahead of Sweeney. So Mr. Joker leads, with Turenbar second, Romans Republic gaining from the pit stops. He's in third, with Dixon, who probably got held up in the pits there. And with Smalley so far down the odd, he's in 13th place, in fact, is Smalley. So Smalley's got a mountain to climb if he is to rescue anything in this race. That's good news for Turenbar, actually, in the battle for second. He would get 32 points from this race. Smalley would get only 4. And who's got the fastest up of the race so far? The answer to that question is Mystic Joker. So, as it stands, Turenbar would just pip Smalley to second place by 1 point. But we've still got an awful long way to go yet. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So Mr. Joker will back the field up. How defensive will he go? Now, Dixon's coming in saying Roman's got through past me and Smalley, so Roman should probably give the position back. In fact, Smalley spun under the safety car, so that explains why he's fallen that far down the order. We've got 20 laps to go in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's doubtful that Mr. Joker will win this one, but he'll give it his best shot. He leads on the restart. Nice restart from Mr. Joker. Into turn 1 they come. Someone's spun on the last turn. It's the Aston Martin of Exotic Alpha. Connor's also in the pits for a new nose. Mr. Joker continues to lead the way. You can see there's a battle there between Romans Republic and Dixon over third place. Leslie goes in too deep into turn 5. He's going side by side with the Williams there. Vamu gets on the inside. And Lezard, does he have to concede here? The answer is no, he doesn't have to concede. So, brilliant fighting there between those two guys. Keeping it clean as well. Dixon, all over the back of the Ferrari of Romans Republic as they come towards turn 8 now. And he has to slot in behind again. So there's Jay Hartnell in 12th place, Smalley in 11th. I don't know how he's going to come back from this to win. Or to be on the podium, nevertheless. And Dixon gets back through on Romans Republic at last. So Dixon gets back through up into third place of what he feels is rightfully his. Turenbar in second position. Behind Mystic Joker, there's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. Someone spun in sector 3. Sweeney, who's gone round again in the Ferrari. He really does need to stop spinning round. And Sweeney has retired from the session. He's retired on circuit. I hope he hasn't deliberately crashed. I think he has, you know. It's a virtual safety car. Now, the stewards may want to have a word with Sweeney for that. Because if you're going to retire, you retire in the pits and then quit. You do not deliberately crash out on circuit. Exotic Alpha coming into the pits for a new front wing. He's probably running out of front wings at this rate. He lost 2 in qualifying. He's already lost at least 1 in this one. And out he goes. And we're underway again. Mr. Joker still leading with Turenbar in second. Against Dixon, Romans Republic, Liam, Lezard, Vamu and Liverpool fan. Touring bar all over the back of the Alpine as they enter turns 12, 13 and 14. Mr. Joker running a little bit wide there. Touring bar clearly with more grip. Waiting for his opportunity. DRS now enabled. Touring bar in second as Lezard drops down the order. He must have had a mistake somewhere. He has. In fact, he's fallen well down the order. He's lucky he hasn't gone into the barrier. He's fallen down to 12th place behind Jay Hartnell. As you can see, a battle there between Dean Phelan and Liverpool fan over 7th. I think Smalley's in there as well. John's going 3 wide now into turn 8 and then 9. Oh, there's 2 contact there between the Haas and the Red Bull. That's going to give the McLaren of Liverpool fan an opportunity to get past here. The Red Bull goes to the left of the Haas. Liverpool fan goes to the right. Surely it's the Red Bull gets in front here, and it is. So Smalley up into 7th place now. Oh, he's lost it. Smalley nearly lost it on the exit of turn 14 there, but he's kept the car going. He's very lucky there. And Mr. Joker's lost the lead to Touring bar, but that was expected anyway. And sector 3, who has gone round? Oh, it's Smalley. Smalley's lost it again. And I think the leftover debris may contribute to a virtual safety car, to be honest with you. Luckily it doesn't. That could be him back in the pits as Pimis comes in, presumably for a new front wing. Lezard also in. And Connor spinning again in the Alpine. So it's all kicking off here in Abu Dhabi now, with drivers continuously spinning. There's Dixon in 3rd place behind Mr. Joker. Rear wing open on the McLaren. How close can he get before making a move down into turn 8? He won't do it there. You can just see that Liam's got by Romans Republic for 4th position. Dixon all over the back of the Alpine now. Rear wing open. And he goes to up into 2nd now. Closing in on Touring bar ahead. So with Smalley and Lezard so far down the order, we could well... It's likely now we're going to see a new race winner this season in the Tier 1 category of the Formula Racing League. Touring bar hasn't won a race. Yep, but he has won races in the Super Sunday F1 Championship and the 100... Well, I was going to say the 100% Racing Championship, but it's just the Super Sunday F1 Championship he's won races in. He's yet to win this season, though. So Lezard in 13th place now behind Pimis as they go towards turn 15 there. Pimis running wide. Rebel fan getting a time penalty for chuck limits now. 3 seconds it is. And there's an incident sets of 1 and 2. Lezard back in the pits. And I think he's going to be calling it a day, to be honest with you. Yeah, he's calling it a day. Lezard retires from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. That doesn't change the situation in the championship, as he is already crowned champion. But it's not the way he wants to end the season. Smalley in 14th place now with Turenbar leading. Turenbar will be going to second place in the championship as it stands. Now, he was 27 points behind Smalley coming into the race. And Turenbar has the fastest lap as well, so Smalley needs to get 14 points from this race now if he is to keep hold of second. And to do that, he would need to finish, I believe, 7th or higher. He's in 14th place. There's a battle between Becco and Jay Hartnell over 9th. This is the closest battle we've got on track at the moment. Jay Hartnell on the mediums. About to go past Becco, who's on the hard compound, and the Red Bull goes through. Now, with Becco's going to the end on the hard compound, this may play into his hands come the end of the race. So Mr. Joker doing a fine job in 3rd place at the moment. Now, is he going to stretch out the stint and then go on to a set of softs? Or what is he deciding to do? He's keeping up with Mr. Joker. Gap between those two is 3.6 seconds. And someone has gone off. It's one of the Aston Martins. It's Exotic Alpha. Has he got damage to his front wing? Not too sure. He keeps spinning round as he rides the curbs. There's no front wing damage by the looks of things. As it's allowed Smalley through and up to 13th. Set to 1 now, and it's Connor who's... Well, it's not Connor, it's Pimis, who's ripped off his front wing. So that'll promote Smalley up another position. Now, the only way, another way that Smalley can get back into second position in the Drivers' Championship is if Turenbar was to be overtaken or not win this one. So Dean Phelan in 7th place behind Vamu. So they start lap 16. Dean Phelan's recovered well after his fiascos in the opening stages. And Romans Republic going past Liam for 4th position. Nice move there, as does Dean Phelan on Vamu. But Liam's going to come back, I think, because... Oh, Romans Republic nearly losing it there. And Romans Republic could have a good chance of winning this one, actually, now, with him on the hard tyres, as it's likely that the leaders will be pitting again. So he doesn't actually need to be fighting too much. Pimis is back in the pits for Williams. He's still currently on the lead lap. Now 14th place would get you 2 points, but Pimmins had hopes for a lot more. So Romans Republic right behind Liam for 4th position again. Mr. Joker continuing to stay out. Mr. Joker in 3rd position as Romans Republic closes in on Liam over 4th. Now here's Smalley in 12th position, 11 seconds off the next driver in front. Is Liverpool fan going toe to toe with Dean Phelan, and Liverpool fan gets through ahead of Dean Phelan. So Liverpool fan up into 7th place. And Mr. Joker and Liam are into the pits together. So Mr. Joker, what tyres is he going to go on here? It's the soft compound, which is no surprise. So Mr. Joker rejoins in 7th. I think Liam should get out in front of Jay Hartnell in 8th as well. And Smalley getting a time penalty for track limits now. His race going from bad to worse. So Liam's trip to the pits has released Romans Republic. He's got only 2 drivers in front of him. In fact, Dixon's nearly 12 seconds ahead of him, with Turenbar 15 ahead of him. It's likely that Turenbar and Dixon will be pitting again. The Romans Republic surely is going to be a sitting dart by the time they rejoin the circuit. Who wants to be winning this one? Exotic getting penalised as well in the Aston Martin. Dean Phelan get back through on Liverpool fan to go up to 5th position. And Mr. Joker needs to manage his tyres. He's got to get to the end of the race on those. I suppose with the fuel burnt off more and a lighter fuel load, he won't need to put as much load into the tyres. .9 seconds is the gap between Liverpool fan and Mr. Joker, so that's the pace difference. Soon having fresh softs and old mediums. Dean Phelan getting penalised for track limits as well. Jay Hartnell in the pits once more. He'll fall down to 12th place. As an instant sexist one. Oh, is that Dean Phelan who's gone for a spin? It is. Dean Phelan spinning and right into the path there of Liam almost. He's got away with it. So Jay Hartnell's pit stop has released Smalley to go up into 11th. A top 7 finish is what Smalley needs as it stands in order to finish 2nd in the championship. So Mr. Joker in 5th place, passing Liverpool fan as well. No problem from him. I'm again a time penalty for track limits as well now. You can see there, Vamu, Liverpool fan, Dean Phelan, Connor, Becco, oh no, not Becco, sorry, Smalley and Exotic Alpha have got 3 seconds each. Becco's got 5 and Liam's got 6. And we've got leaders coming into the pits now, as just see there, Truenbar and Dixon pitting at the same time. Rome's Republic will take the lead. He's going to the end of the race on the hard compound that he's on. There's no way he'll be able to keep hold of that once Truenbar and Dixon have got their tyres into the optimum window. Mr. Joker setting a new fastest lap in the Alpine. That's good news for Smalley, actually, because Truenbar had that point before. Smalley deciding to stay out, and that's his only chance if he's going to finish in the top 7 in this one. Smalley up to 8th then. Now 8th place would get you, my maths is correct, just looking at the format, the race format that is. 8th place would get you 12 points. So Truenbar in 2nd place now behind Rome's Republic. Smalley is in 2nd place again, but it's not going to be too long before Truenbar gets onto the tail of the Ferrari on his fresh set of softs. Truenbar's going to be all over the back of the Ferrari. But how soon will it be before Truenbar's tyres start to go away? Because the longer Rome's Republic can keep him behind, the better. It's the same with Dixon as well. And Mr. Joker. There's Becco in 7th place. He has got a 5-second time penalty, remember. Smalley has got 3 seconds. And Rome's Republic has been overtaken by the Mercedes. And Truenbar back into the lead, and crucially into 2nd place in the championship again. Rome's Republic's going to have DRS though on the back straight. Eight laps remaining. Truenbar in the lead now by over 2 seconds. Dixon right all over the back of Rome's Republic for 2nd place now. And I think Rome's Republic is going to find it hard to fend this one off on this occasion. Dixon going to the inside. Is that him up to 2nd? Surely must be. Now Rome's Republic is still there, going to the inside, trying to get his elbows out. But he has to concede defeat as Dixon gets through and up into 2nd. Liam gets a penalty now for track limits. It's comfortably in front of Van Moo anyway. Smalley in 8th. Right behind 7th place man Becco. So they come into turn 1 now. Can Smalley get in front and get himself into that crucial top 7 position? Becco fends him off It goes wide at turn 8, and then 9. The two make contact. Smalley will get into the slipstream, and with DRS to get on the inside, and he goes past the AlphaTauri and up to 7th. I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch Vamu, and besides, Vamu is going to be on fresher tyres than the Red Bull. Finished in 13th place, ahead of Exotic Alpha. And someone's gone for a spin. Is that one of the Alpines? It's Connor who's gone for a spin. He keeps hold of 10th place anyhow. Dixon's got a time penalty now of 3 seconds. That's his hopes of the race win dashed now. Romans Republic getting ahead of Mystic Joker. So Mr. Joker got through at first. Romans Republic wasn't having any of it. He's fighting on for dear life here as the Ferrari driver, but I think with Mr. Joker's pace advantage with the DRS, he's going to get through and up into 3rd place. And Liverpool fan has spun out in the McLaren. And we've got a safety car now. It's a safety car because of Liverpool fans' debris on the circuit. I think Dean Phelan has spun as well, so both of them heading into the pits for new nose cones. And this is going to make for an interesting finish to the race now. Now will Truenbar, Dixon, Mystic Joker pit in again. I think Romans Republic may as well get a fresh set of boots on. Truenbar stays out, as does Dixon. Romans Republic also carrying on. I'm a bit surprised he decided to stay out, actually. Liam's coming into the pits, as is Vamu. I wonder if Smalley is going to do the same? Is he going to carry on for one more lap? He may decide to carry on for one more lap because he'll have caught up to the leaders just before he enters the pit. No, he decides to pit in this lap. That's probably a sensible decision. Becco also deciding to follow suit. The Red Bull crew out. Soft tyres go on, and he gets out in front of the AlphaTauri. And Smalley will keep hold of 7th place. We've got 5 laps to go, including the one they are on. Truenbar in the lead. Dixon 2nd. Mr. Joker 3rd. Romans Republic in 4th. Liam on fresh set of softs is in 5th. Boy, this is going to be a really interesting end to the championship and this race, of course. All 14 runners are still on the lead lap as well. Liverpool fan rejoining in 13th place after that pit stop. Dean Phelan in the pits for Haas. And he's retiring from the session. So he doesn't want to carry on. I'm a bit surprised at that. You know, he would have been in the shot of going for points if he was close enough. He would have been in the points. You know, top 15 do score. Top 15 finishes, that is. But he doesn't want to continue. And the safety car will go around for one more lap at least. And it'll be a shootout to the finish. Now, I want to have a look to see the tyre life on those. Now, Truenbar and Dixon have been on tyres that are 4 laps old. Mystic Joker's soft are 6 laps old. Romans Republic hards are 17 laps old. Liam's, Vamu's, Smalley, Becco, Connor, and pretty much the rest of them are all on fresh set of softs. So 4 laps remaining. As it stands, Smalley would be second in the championship by, I believe, a single point from Turenbach. Let's have a look at the time penalties as well, because that's obviously a major factor in the race. And just looking at Liam's time penalty, 3 seconds. 9 seconds, sorry. Liam's time penalty is 9 seconds, so that's a really body blow for him. Unless he can really get his skates on and get ahead of the field on the restart and pull away. Now, is the safety car going to be coming in at the end of this lap? The answer to that question is no, by the looks of things. So the safety car is going to be carrying on for one more lap. Oh, in fact, the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. It's a late call there by the stewards. So we'll be going again for a 3-lap shootout. Can Turenbach fend off Dixon for the race win? Mr. Joker is on a couple of laps older tyres than Turenbach. I have to say, Turenbach is very much the favourite to win this, but it's anyone's game. They're all bunched up together, all 13 runners close together on the lead lap. It's anyone's game for the victory. And Turenbach leads the field round. Dixon getting out of shape, and that allows Mystic Joker through and up into second. So Mystic Joker gets through, but Smalley's out. Not sure what's happened to Smalley, but he's crashed out. He's lost it on the pit straight. That's his hopes of finishing second in the championship pretty much gone, unless Turenbach decides to make a mistake somewhere. In fact, Turenbach's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. So that could cost him the race victory, you know, and possibly second place. Liam gets another 5 seconds added to his time penalty for a collision on the restart. But I cannot believe Smalley's crashed out of it. And I think Romans Republic on the hard tyres. Oh, he's very much a sitting duck now because he's got a Red Bull and Aston Martin all over him. Exotic Alpha. Jay Harnell wanted to get into it, as does Liverpool fan. Oh, and Jay Harnell's lost it. And the Alpine of Connor's spun round again. Nearly taking the Red Bull out with him. That's not good driving, really, from Connor. So, as it stands, with the penalties applied, Turenbach would take... Well, no, Mystic Joker would take the victory from Turenbach. Oh, and Connor spins round again in the Alpine. Come on, Connor. So Liverpool fan in 10th place, gaining good ground on the restart. He has got a time penalty to his name, though. In fact, through all this, Becco could finish on the podium. So if Becco can stay in touch with the leaders, he'll most certainly get in front of Liam. It just depends what happens to others. Vamo gets another 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's calling it a day as well. So Vamo's race is over. He may still get points because he's completed enough laps, but it's not the points that he had been after at the beginning. Becco gets the time penalty now for chat limits. You can see that Exotic Alpha also getting a time penalty for chat limits. In fact, Romans Republic is all over the place at the moment because Liverpool fan is trying to get through as well. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. So Liverpool fan may be able to get in front of the Ferrari. Pimis is in 6th place, Becco in 5th. Liam, as it stands with the time penalty, oh, he's going to drop all the way down to 10th place, isn't he? So Dixon right behind the Alpine of Mystic Joker in the battle for what is second on the road. Mystic Joker just needs to keep the McLaren behind him. But we've still got 1 more lap to go, of which DRS will be enabled. All Mr. Joker needs to stay within 3 seconds of Turenbar. The gap at the moment, 2.1 seconds. Turenbar begins the final lap of this race and the championship. Mr. Joker in second place. Dixon third. Liam in fourth on the road, but he will most certainly not be keeping that. Sussex Alpha on the back of Pimis, who's on old mediums. Be able to get in front of him on the road. Liverpool fan does get in front of Liverpool fan. And someone else has gone for a spin. It's Dixon! Dixon has spun from third position. And it's good news for Mr. Joker, because now he can just focus on Turenbar ahead and stay within 3 seconds of him. Dixon falls down to 10th place through all that. And he spins again. The gap now 2.6 seconds. Can Turenbar pull out enough of a gap to keep hold of the race victory? Mr. Joker currently second. I think Becco, as it stands, is going to go to the podium. He's most certainly going to go to the podium as it stands. And Turenbar has pulled out that 3 second margin on Mr. Joker now. 3.1 it is. So Turenbar has done enough. Surely has done enough to take victory here in Abu Dhabi. 2 more corners to get through now. And Mr. Joker doing all he can to get the gap down. Oh, and Turenbar spins! He's lost it! Turenbar has lost it! He's out of the race with 1 corner remaining! That has the lead to Mr. Joker, who's going to take victory here in Abu Dhabi! Mr. Joker wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in the Tier 1 category! Becco finishes second! And I think Exotic Alpha could be on the... No, it's Pimis who's on the podium for Williams to do all that! Rome's Republic in 4th. Exotic Alpha in 5th. Liverpool fans 6th. Liam will fall behind Jay Hartnell shortly, but Connor in fact goes to 8th place according to the leaderboard. What dreadful luck on the last lap for Turenbar. He lost it on over the curbs. Pushing to eclipse the time with the time penalty he had. And he lost the race victory, and that handed it to Mystic Joker. So Smalley can breathe a sigh of relief. Because had Turenbar taken the victory, the Mercedes driver would have been second in the championship. But it's Smalley who finishes second in the championship now through all that. But Mystic Joker on the podium as the race victor, along with Becco and Pimis. Who would have thought we've seen those two on the podium through all of that? So Mystic Joker is your race winner in Abu Dhabi. Becco from 17th on the grid, coming home in second place. Pimis in third for Williams. Rome's Republic in 4th for Ferrari. Then it's Exotic Alpha in the Aston Martin in 5th. Liverpool fans 6th for McLaren. Liam in 7th. Connor in 8th. Dixon in 9th. Jay Hartnell in 10th. Turenbar crashing out on the last lap is classified in 11th. Vamo classified 12th. Smalley crashing out on the restart doesn't get any points after all that. Dean Phelan is also retired, as did Lezard, Sweeney, Bates, Atismo and Safdar. What a brilliant ending to the race that was. We didn't expect a different race winner, or in fact drivers finishing on the podium as they did, Becco and Pimis. Well, I did say it was anyone's game going into that 3-lap shootout following the safety car period. And, wow, what an incredible end to the race that was. So it's Lezard who is crowned champion of the Formula Racing League. Smalley second after Turenbar had crashed out on the last lap with 1 corner remaining. And, boy, if this is a precursor for what's to come next season on F1 2021, goodness knows what we could be in for. Wow, what a season. Thank you for joining us after tonight's action and over the course of the season. It's been a privilege having you on board. And guess what? We are on F1 2021 now, and we are only a few weeks away from the start of the new season. The drivers concerned, do stay tuned on the Discord, the Formula Racing League Discord, for the calendar they're set to be released in terms of what dates it will be and which circuits they will be racing at. And all I have to say is thank you ever so much for joining us over the course of the season, and we can't wait to do it all over again in just a few weeks' time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.